Right, Jack? That's my little brother.
I think it's not playing for some.
Here we go again. Right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll. Here we go again. Right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll. Here we go again. Right now, let's go. Me and you, toe to toe. We can rock, we can roll.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? Cage Titans Nation, what's up? My name is James Lynch. This is the Cage Titans 74 Countdown Show, live from the Plymouth Memorial Hall. Happy to be joined by the General of Cage Titans, Michael Pulver. We got a huge event tonight, 5 titles on the line. UFC's only got 2 titles on the line, so I think Cage Titans has got it made right now. Mike, I know you got a million things going on. Thanks for making some time. Just how excited are you for tonight's event?
Listen, man, I'm super stoked for this fight. I've been talking about it on the lead up. This is a fight that kind of was on that list of Khabib Ferguson for the Cage Titans world.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen. They just were, ships passing and shooting cannons at each other as they were passing each other.
Mm-hmm.
For the history is Perrin was our bantamweight champion, went on to the UFC. Party was trying to position himself when he went on his 6-0 run with us to get that title. Then he won the title while Jay was in the UFC. Then
Right.
Jay and Perrin just kind of like, the title you had, I never lost, you won it. It was all animosity, and then they just started getting personal, and then it took a life of its own. But I just never really thought this fight was going to happen. We're finally here. Both guys were like, until the fight day, I'm not going to believe it's happening. Even yesterday, they're like, I'm not going to believe it until tomorrow. But now here we are, and they're both in the building, ready to go.
Yeah, it's a huge grudge match, and we're certainly looking forward to that fight. We also have the title fight I mentioned. We have one of 5 title fights. Let's start with the flyweight title. Isaiah Torres coming, a couple events ago, taking the title from Joe Poirier, and now he gets to defend that title against Casey Norton, who's supposed to be Andrew Valdina. In steps in Casey Norton. Take me through how this all came together with Valdina having to bow out.
Yeah, listen, man. I mean, Casey Norton has been on my case since he won that Joe Poirier fight. Hey, listen, I took out Joe Poirier, who was Cage Titan staple. And when Poirier won some fights after that, and then we made the title fight with Isaiah Torres and Joe Poirier, I got Casey Norton in my inbox being like, hey, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be
I want that guy. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, I got you, man. I didn't forget what you did. And he's gone on and beat Justin Valentin, who
That's
fought
right.
Mitch Raposo for our flyweight title before he went to the UFC. So Casey's just doing his thing. But we had a unique opportunity to make this super fight with Andrew Valdina, 35 champ, dropping to 25, trying to become champ. It was too good of a history to pass up. And we inserted that fight, and immediately that night, I think we announced it at intermission, and 10 minutes later, it was like, really? Mm-hmm. We want that fight against Torres. We want the champ. And as fate will have it, Casey Norton got his wish. He got the fight. And make no mistake about it, this is going to be a banger. I mean, Casey Norton is the top guy in New England. He's beat the top 2 guys. He is the top guy. And he's going to get a chance to prove that he's one of the best in the country by taking out Colorado's Isaiah Torres, who's the Cage Titans champ.
Yeah, and bringing his teammate with him, who's going to be fighting Jaden Curley for the amateur title at welterweight. Just talk a bit about number of the amateur title fights we have tonight. Seeing the future of Cage Titans right on display.
Yeah, listen, man, we've talked many times over the years, and I talk about this stuff all the time. We're always backfilling a lot. You can't just focus your promotion on the next UFC guys. We focus on having a place for everybody, whether you're an 0-0 amateur that might want to do this as a bucket list one time and done, whether you're a guy who wants to go into the UFC, whether you're a guy that just wants to be a great local fighter. We always backfilling a lot. So it's like today's amateur debut in a few shows next year, he might be today, Josiah Fry, and Josiah Fry on this card might be Isaiah Torres next year, and so on and so forth. So it's amazing to see. The title fights, I got to tell you this, these are pro level title fights, though they're amateurs. Amateurs nowadays are absolute studs. Then you look at these guys in particular, Josiah Fry, he had 1 loss in all 4 years of his collegiate wrestling career. This kid's an absolute stud. Jaden Curley, similar. I think he was number 3 in the country. And so these guys are absolute killers, and it's amazing. And then you look at that flyweight title fight, Josiah Fry, He's taking on Calvin Dalton, who had some real wrestling accolades himself. They wrestled at the same time. They never crossed paths. But when you look at Cal Dalton, he's kind of like he's not just a wrestler. He's such a hybrid of intensity and striking and pressure. And he's 3-0 as an amateur. Has never been hit in his fights.
Oh, really?
So
Okay, wow.
that's just a crazy fight. Obviously, Thurman Hargrove was super impressive. Ash Rao, what can you say about this guy? He's 4-0. He has one draw, which was to Miguel Savesin at 155 pounds.
Mhm.
And he's our bantamweight champion. And Miguel's an undefeated professional nowadays. So that's the only knock on his record. He had a draw against a guy who's an undefeated pro who was also an amateur champion. 2 weight classes above him. Ash Rao's the real deal. He's super humble. The White Tiger. He gave up. I'm so happy. I love to give him a hard time. He was an Indian male model in his home country.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew he's from India. Yeah.
And now he's kicking ass and taking names, and he's so humble, so nice. And that's for Thurman Hargrove, 18-year-old absolute stud, who's really coming into his own. That fight's going to be bananas. And then obviously Jaden Curley versus Emilio Marquez. When the champ Isaiah Torres won the fight, and his coach Jeremy Kimball was like, we got studs there. Like, can we bring somebody else out? And I go, sure. And in steps 5-0 undefeated Emilio Marquez. Insane. So these fights are going to be crazy.
Yeah. One other name I wanted to mention, Bazooka. I always, the Kazakhstan fighter, a really interesting guy, in terms of, him coming here and fighting for Cage Titans, adding a little bit of international flavor. I remember a few fights ago, we had the fighter from Team Alpha Male from the Ukraine. Like, you're getting a lot of flavor from all over the world here. Just talk a bit about that fighters want to come and fight for Cage Titans.
Yeah. I think to be quite honest, we're never trying to be anything. We're just being us.
Yeah.
And, I think it comes off as authentic. We're not trying to be the next feeder league to the UFC. We're not trying to do X, Y, Z. We're just putting on shows, doing good business, treating fighters right, treating fans right, doing our job, which wasn't around when I was fighting, to be a promoter. It's our job to market and promote these fighters in these fights. And it's like, it's just simple, basic stuff that we do. And I love that people are coming all over the country and wanting to fight for us, but it's just like, I feel humbled that you're so impressed by us, but it's like live streaming and taking photos at a weigh-in is fucking unheard of at these other promotions. What are you guys doing?
Got to catch up. That's what it really boils down to.
It's just basic stuff.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to kind of get people from all over the world. And it's truly humbling. I started my MMA career training, 20 years ago, and it was like, I'll do one fight. Maybe I'll do 2. Maybe I'll do 3. All right. I'll go pro, have one fight. Then it was, I'll do one Cage Titans event. And it's like 15 years later doing Cage Titans, 70 something. It is humbling to see kind of where we began, but we always remember that. And we're never trying to be something we're not.
Yeah, very clear. Are we going to get any announcements tonight? We got the Ring Titans event next month. Any teasers, anything you can throw to the audience right now? Or we got to wait a couple hours.
So he's already teased it. So for December 13th, Ozzy Martin will be making his professional Muay Thai debut.
Oh, cool.
Alongside his brother, Diego Martin, who was a big star from our Ring Titans 1 show.
Yeah.
They will be both fighting. A crowd favorite from last show, Peter Barrett's younger brother, Ian
nice.
Barrett.
Okay.
He's returning, and I have a fight that you guys will super stoked for. We do have a female amateur title fight for Ring Titans that these two girls are the best in the world, like at their weight classes. They fought internationally, Team USA, things like that. Like, these girls are absolute killers. We're going to announce that. And then we're already looking for January 24th. We have a couple fights that are going to be some fun ones to announce. I'm not going to, you got to wait to intermission.
Yeah,
we always got something up our sleeve.
And you can watch that on Spectation Sports, your home for Cage Titans. Mike, thanks for stopping by, and we'll keep the show going.
Let's go. You guys have fun, and thank you guys so much. And talking about international, Mr. International yourself, coming all the way down from Canada and covering the events. Yeah. You've been an absolute pleasure to have on the show, and coming down from out of country. It's amazing, and we love having you, and even our fans, they adopt you as our own.
I know. I feel like I'm coming to a family reunion every time I come here. It's great.
And not to be long-winded, but to go back to what I was saying, is just like, like, people, our fans are authentic.
Yeah.
Like, you come in here, and I tell this to all our out-of-state fighters.
Yeah.
Some of our most popular have been out-of-state fighters. Like, if you come in, do your job, do things the right way, like, our fans are going to cheer you. Though we are a regional promotion here just in New England, our fans react to authenticity, and great performances. And I think it's shown across the board. Like Michael Dufort. They love Michael Dufort, another Canadian.
So on my drive here, I'll tell the story. This is really funny. So the Uber driver I had on the way here actually had Dufort in his car to the fight to go to fight Giannetti. So he's telling he's actually like asking for tips. He's like, how can I get under his skin? And then of course Dufort won. So kind of tying everything together. Little Canadian flavor here on Cage Titans.
Let's go, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the coverage. Thank you so much for doing that. Make sure you guys tune in. He'll be backstage with all the winners
interviews tonight,
and him and Andrew Mack. They always crush it back in the back media room.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. If you didn't get your tickets for Cage Titans 74, I don't know what you were thinking. You missed out, but don't worry. Spectation Sports got you covered. And do yourself a favor. Use your favorite fighter's promo code. Unlike a lot of other promotions, every fighter with us gets a percentage kickback for every purchase using their codes for streams. So it's just an additional way to help these guys make money, to help with their camp expenses. It's a tremendous thing that we have the ability to do for these fighters. So if you do buy the stream, look up one of your favorite fighters' codes and just use their codes. Give them a little kickback, help them with training expenses and stuff.
Yeah, it all goes a long way. So there you go.
Thank you so much, my man.
Cage Titans here.
All right.
Again, stick here. We are going to continue on with the countdown show. Jack Condon, come on down if you want to go. Come on here. Another Mr. Cage Titans here. Happy to have him on. Jack, there you go. Looking good as always. I always have to be on my A game when I'm on these streams because Jack always outdoes me with the suit. You're looking good, my friend. Grab the microphone here so we can hear what you got to say. We're actually, you can see every one of these streams. We're getting better and better. We got the lighting. We got the new background. We got the Cage Titans flag. How are you doing, my friend? I see you in the sling. What happened?
Yeah, so I had an AC joint separation. So basically my collarbone was sticking out where it didn't belong, separated from my shoulder joint. And got the surgery to get it fixed. So I'm going to be out for a little while, but we're going to take the time to heal up, to get back stronger. And I'm targeting first half next year to bounce back.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
It's a ways out.
Yeah.
But that's my goal. So we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, not the worst time. Holidays are coming up. You can kind of enjoy a little bit, not too much, right? Don't want to gain too much weight there, but that's great. Good to see you here for Cage Titans. Let's talk a bit about this card. And we mentioned the 5 title fights on there. The fight that everyone's talking about is Joe the Party and Jay Perrin. A lot of bad blood there. Have you ever really had that in any of your fights where you had an opponent get under your skin? Not to what we've seen. I mean, I'll be honest. I've covered a lot of MMA in my time. This is one of the craziest build up to a fight I've seen of two fighters who clearly don't like each other. But have you experienced any of that in your career? You've been pretty lucky that you just kind of go in and fight and not have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, not nearly to that extent. There have been a handful of times where I've had, guys say a thing or two where, he's trying to get under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is I never really play into that.
No.
I came up in traditional martial arts and it was more about respect. So I never played into those games. And generally, if you don't play into it, guys will back off. Mm-hmm. Neither of these guys are that type, right? Mm-hmm. Once one gets going, the other one takes it to the next level and the next level. And, you get where we got where, they're pushing each other at the weigh-ins. They're, from what I understand, saying stuff that goes into familial lines.
Yeah.
And then it's really heated. And then you really have that question, like, do these guys really hate each other?
Yeah.
And how does that play into the fight, right?
Yeah.
Because is it tactics for one guy to say, hey, I'm going to get you emotional and you're not going to fight the way that you fight, and that's going to play to my advantage. So if you're either guy, you've got to play that role, but not let it impact you when it comes time to actually fight. You got to stick to your plan and forget about, whatever this guy said that peeved you.
Yeah, and I think especially for Jay going into this fight, obviously he's was in the UFC. He gets a couple wins, maybe he can get back there type thing. So it's a little bit more important, I think, for him than for Joe the Party. What does Jay got to do to not let the noise get to him and just focus on the task at hand, and that is get the win against Joe the Party?
That's ultimately up to Jay what he has to do mentally, right?
Mm-hmm.
That every fighter is going to have their own process when it comes to that. From a strategic standpoint, I think going into this fight, whoever is going to lead the dance is going to be the one that comes out victorious. Mm-hmm. Both guys are doing their best when they're pushing forwards and putting the pace on the other guy, mixing in the cage wrestling, making it ugly, fighting in close, and really just grinding the other guy out. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't see either of these guys usually winning off of the back foot. or winning off of their back with submissions, those type of things. So really it's going to come down to, in my opinion, who leads the dance and who takes that first step and does not give that ground up.
Yeah, very interesting. Flyweight title fight. We got Isaiah Torres and Casey Norton. I guess the big thing for Casey is he's coming on a bit of a layoff, to this fight. I don't know if you've had a lot of like extended periods throughout your career. I mean, you will have one obviously with this recent injury, but how do you sort of obviously he's in the gym training, but it's so different obviously being in there than training in the gym.
Right. Yeah, it is different. The pressure that you'll feel the night of with the lights on and the crowd and knowing that this is the moment is not something that you can replicate in the gym. That being said, he is a guy with a lot of experience still. Right? Yeah. It's not like, he's a guy that had a couple of fights as an amateur and now he's coming back all these years later. He's been here at Cage Titans before as well, right? Mm-hmm. So these are things that I think are bigger factors than just the time alone. Like, have you seen this venue? Like, do you have the reps in, period? I think those are more important factors. But I would still categorize it as an advantage for Torres having just fought here and having all this momentum riding into this fight, especially, against a guy like Joe Poirier, and who's built his way up and was looking like he could be the next big prospect to make it out, and still could be. And either of these guys that win this fight in particular can be as well, right? This fight is huge for both of them in that regard. But especially Torres, he's got a lot of momentum from that previous fight riding into here. Like, this is going to feel like his house to him.
Yeah, and I think Torres has got to have that confidence too. It's one thing to fight, maybe an hour or two away and fight in enemy territory, but for Torres to come in the building last time at the Plymouth Memorial Hall, you're fighting a guy in Joe Poirier, who's had those expectations where people are talking about the UFC, to come in there and get that win. That's got to be such a confidence boost, knowing that you can go into enemy territory, get the win, and it doesn't matter where it is, he's still able to come out victorious as well. So that'll be interesting to see tonight. I guess Norton would be sort of the hometown guy in this situation as opposed to Torres. We'll see if he can do it there as well. Any other fights on this card that have sort of caught your eye? We mentioned the 3 amateur title fights that are going on too. Again, very awesome that Cage Titans is still putting on a nice mix of amateur and pro fights. But for you, is there good job, Andrew Mack, getting the lineup there as well. Anything else kind of catch your eye, or any of your teammates or anyone else on this card that you want to talk about here quick?
So I'm definitely interested in the welterweight amateur title.
Oh, right, your division.
I trained with Jay Curley a little bit as well. And we saw in his last matchup just absolutely devastating one-punch power, as well as outstanding collegiate wrestling. So I don't know a lot about his opponent other than the fact that he's 5-0. Mm-hmm. So also coming from a good team, same team as Torres, right? So that's going to be an exciting, explosive fight. And someone's always got to go. I got to mention that. That's the other cool thing. I know it's amateur, but still, there's something to that, I think, mentally, of a fighter that has not lost yet. Can you, how do you deal with adversity, all that? So really interested with that, too, to see if Emilio can go out there and play the role of spoiler that Isaiah Torres did in his last fight. So should be very interesting there, too. Anything else? Otherwise, we can let you go enjoy the rest of your evening. It's all good either way. Looking to Tyler Messenger making his debut. I train with him.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Young kid, well-rounded game, so very excited for that. And then Carter Whitty as well is always very exciting. He's got one of the absolutely most disgusting knockouts in Cage Titans history with that jump switch head kick. And he's always dynamic and dangerous on the feet. So, he's always exciting to watch as well.
Jack, always love you. I've always loved doing these preview shows. Stumble over my words. I don't like Jack that much. I'm actually married, but just so there's no slip of words there. But good seeing you, Jack. Speedy recovery, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Thank you, James.
So there you go. That is Jack Condon. Great talking to him, and we're gonna get our guy Miguel up here right now. I don't want to keep him waiting. I saw a yawn back there. We can't have that. That hasn't even started yet. But he did take off his beanie. Now, in Canada, here's a little trivia for you guys out there. We actually call beanies in Canada toques. Did you know that, Miguel?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so you learn something every day. They're called toques. Toques. Toque. Yeah, there you go. What's up, Miguel? How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, my man.
Yeah, good to see you. So, kind of like I said with Jack, like, what's the latest with you? What's going on with you? When are we going to see you back in there? What's going on in your world? I guess we'll start there first.
Nothing, just training every day, staying, trying to stay in shape, but took a little bit, some time off, let my hand heal from my last fight.
Yeah, I remember that last time. Yeah.
So now I'm looking to get on the January card.
Oh, nice. Perfect. So that's good.
Yeah, it's going to be, they have some surprises tonight, so.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a teaser. That's what we call that in this business. That's cool. I'm sure you're happy to get back in there. Part of you also kind of like, we got the holidays coming up. Like, it'd be nice if maybe they did a card in February. We could kind of space it out a bit. I know you want to get back in there, though. I was kind of half joking. But.
Yeah, no, I agree. Christmas, New Year's Eve.
Well, Thanksgiving. So here's another Canadian fact. American Thanksgiving is way different than Canadian Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving is just like whatever. We had it like last month. It's in October.
Yeah.
American Thanksgiving, I hear, is bigger than Christmas here for you guys. Is that true? Like with the feast and all that?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, depends,
Depends where you go or what your family's about. But yeah, I was going to say, because I know Thanksgiving's kind of the big one. Christmas is more like, whatever.
You're right.
Yeah. So that I was right about that. Anyways, but that's good. So, so I guess for now it's enjoy a little bit during the holidays, but still obviously training and keeping the eye on the prize, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to do 170, not go down to 155, so I can enjoy the holidays.
I was going to
but
say,
still-
like, man, you're a big guy. Like, I
Yeah.
got to say, in a good way, Not
Thanks.
not big as in we got to worry about him being in
I've
shape.
been
but
eating
I'm
a
just
little
saying-
bit.
Yeah. No. But that's, obviously finding the right weight class is key too. And kind of on that note too, talking about, obviously we're going to get some fight news from you here soon. Any goals for next year? Is it just keeping active? Like what's are you a guy that does that at the end of the year, kind of look ahead to 2026?
Yeah, usually I fight like 3 or 4 times a year. So I just want to, full throttle. Like hopefully there's no injuries. That's what really holds me back. So
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, again, you do get punched in the face. It is going to
Right.
be a sport that, it's not like ballet where you don't get much injuries. It's full contact fighting. So that's certainly different. Okay. Let's talk about Cage Titans 74. Awesome event. Great way to end the Cage Titans portion of, this promotion for the year. 5 title fights. What catches your eye? Any fights you want to start with first? Anything you want to talk about here? We got the lineup up there. Any teammates? Anyone you train with? What's sort of catching your eye right now on that card?
I'm super excited for the Jaden Curley fight.
Yeah.
Like you said before, like the 0-0, like
Yeah.
that. I love that. Like
Yeah.
someone's always got to go. Like that's super exciting. And like his last fight, everyone knows how high level of wrestler he is. Now you see in his hands are there and they're sharp. So, he's doing some things. And this kid that he's fighting is like, I don't know too much about him, but like from what I see, he's a pretty good grappler as well.
Does some cross training too. So I actually got a chance to speak to him yesterday at the pre-show, or the live with Lynch. And so he's from New Mexico originally, trains in Colorado now, but got to do some cross training. It didn't sound like he was at John Dodson's gym, not Jackson Wink, but it sounds like a guy that does have a lot of resources in terms of training so early in his career. And it's interesting to hear that as an amateur fighter. Like maybe I'm naive to this, but when you hear about amateur fighters, you don't hear about a lot of like going to different gyms and cross training. This to me tells a guy that's like very much business oriented about where he wants to go in his career.
Right.
And I kind of got the sense from Isaiah talking about him yesterday too.
Yeah, especially out of state like that and like
That's what I
high
mean.
level gyms. Like that is crazy.
Yeah. So
And-
go ahead.
And I'm
sorry.
also excited for the Josiah Fry Calvin Dalton fight.
Yeah.
Like 2 high level wrestlers going at it. I think I just don't know who wins. I feel like if the wrestling cancels out, Calvin Dalton has a serious hands.
Yeah.
He kind of showed that. Josiah Fry seems a little bit more green, but still very capable of holding his own in there. So I'm not too sure. So that's a good one. That it's a toss up. I just don't know. It's a lot of great fights.
And being trained by the great Luis Felix, legend in these parts. I remember interviewing Luis like 10 years ago when he fought for CES. Like really cool to see him now going into that coaching role and kind of coaching the future. And that's one of the cool things about being at these events as well. I see so many fighters that I've known like on the come up for years that I've interviewed that are now coaches that are, promoting the future as well. Like yourself, obviously, like doing quite well. So that's been kind of cool to see. It's like a changing in the guard, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing the future and the past here as they're cornering a lot of these fighters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
And like you guys were talking about earlier, that like the amateurs now are like they fight like pros.
I know,
and
it's
the
crazy.
whole card is just
Yeah.
awesome.
Super stacked. Well, hey, that's all I got, Miguel. Go enjoy your evening. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here to the Cage Titans audience?
Nope. Just tune in, guys, for January. I'm gonna be in that card. It's looking like a stacked card already. So can't wait to put on a show for you guys.
Always appreciate the time,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Thank
Looking forward to that fight announcement. That's going to be later. Again, another reason why you got to watch Cage Titans here. and we'll see if we can get him. I see his back to me. Maybe Miguel can help me out here and see if we can get Valdina to come in, stop in here for a second, because I do want to get his thoughts on this main event here. Do you got like a minute or two, my friend? Of course. Perfect. It wouldn't be a Cage Titans pre-show without our next guest. One of the best commentators in the game, one of the best fighters in the game right now. Always enjoy talking about it. Like I said, I wouldn't feel right not doing a Cage Titan show. And look at this. We got 2 microphones now. We're moving up. We got lights now. We got a new background. How are you, my friend?
Good. How you doing, James?
You're doing great. And look, I made the rookie mistake of putting the mic in your face.
I wasn't going to say anything.
We have 2 mics now, so we're moving on up. Yeah, you were supposed to headline this card, obviously. How's the injury, and how's everything going with recovery?
There's always bumps and bruises in every single fight camp, but this injury in particular, just the doctor wouldn't allow me to get in the cage tonight.
Yeah.
No contact until then, but everything's going well. I'm still training fully. I left my training bag over there. I'm cornering a teammate tonight, and so if he needs me up in the back room, I got to wear this mask on my face.
Yeah.
And to save it a little bit. So I'm still able to train, do everything I want to do as long as I wear that mask, and everything's going well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, unfortunately, though, glad to see you're on the road to recovery there. Won't keep you too long. Again, I know you got a teammate on the card, and getting the night off commentary, too. So nice to do things a little bit different here tonight. Let's talk about the main event. The guy that is replacing you is Casey Norton. He's going to be fighting Torres. Just your thoughts on that matchup, and who do you favor in that fight now, kind of looking at the 2 fighters?
I mean, they're both talented fighters, in my opinion.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but that's my job, right? I gotta keep you on your toes.
I'm very good on the spot, man.
I know you are.
That's why I work best.
Yeah, exactly.
Under pressure.
Yeah.
But no, they're both talented fighters. I know they both don't really care for me too much, which I love.
Yeah.
They get so.
Well, do you know why? So let me just interject here, and then I'll get your pick in a second here. So Torres basically told me he doesn't think you're injured. Obviously, you are, because the doctor couldn't clear you, and then you had the mask on as well. So that's Torres, and Torres is even to the point where I said, "Well, you're going to let him fight the winner of this fight?" It's like, I don't even know if I'm going to give him that opportunity. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. We'll
what
see
am I going to do?
Yeah, I know exactly. So there's that, and also you're the 135-pound champ. Second one is Casey Norton just kind of felt disrespected. Like he felt like he should have got the shot initially because he beat Joe Poirier. So he feels like before you got the shot, he should have got it. Casey was a little bit cooler, but yeah. So, but hey, listen, it's I always say this: it's better to be talked about than forgotten. So at least if these guys are getting in saying things, I'm
happy to have my name in their mouth all the time. Man.
Exactly,
that's all I see, and I enjoy it. It keeps me relevant. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I think you guys should focus on each other a little bit more. To be honest,
you can look up there in the camera.
And if you guys really want to get so salty about all these title shots not coming your way, man, why don't you just be a little bit more entertaining?
There we go. So,
other than that, I'm looking forward to every single fight on the card.
Yeah. Who's your pick, though, for the main event? Who do you think gets it?
Torres and Norton?
Yeah.
I got Torres.
What about the co-main event, the grudge match? Jay Perrin, we've got Joe Penafiel. Interesting fight. I mean, Joe, just saying whatever he can to get under the skin. We saw the press conference. We saw yesterday at the face-offs. Things got pretty personal there. Is Jay going to be able to keep his composure? That's my thing too, because there was a lot of bad stuff said, obviously.
You know what, dude? They've had so many fights under their belt at this point that I don't think any of this is gonna hinder their performance at all. To be honest, in the past, you've seen the party get under a lot of people's skin. Almost got under mine, but. And it has worked in his favor, but Jay has seen this coming for so long. I don't know if it's really going to work. I think skill for skill, I think Jay technically is a little bit better in my opinion, but the party just got like 3 gas tanks in him, man. And he comes back in late rounds, delivering heavy shots. I don't think either one is going to get a finish, to be honest. I think this really is going to be a bloodbath, heavy feud, and everyone's in for a treat. That deserves to be at the top of the card.
What have you made, by the way, just totally unrelated to this fight or whatever, but what have you made of the graphic scheme for this card with the comic book stuff? I was saying to Pulver and to the entire crew, they got to keep these themes going for every card. The next one I suggested, and listen, if this ends up happening, I want to get full marks for this one. And yeah, we got a card right here. Shout out to our guy Randy right there. Look at this. I mean, this is so cool. Look at these cards here. Shout out to Nick and the rest of the team there for doing this. They should have made these into t-shirts. I said I would have got one, but they have these trading cards. They're going to be limited edition, which is really cool. But I said for the next one, do a Street Fighter theme. You remember that old game?
Oh my
do that with the Street Fighter text and then make all the fighters 16-bit. That's a winner. I'm telling you. Next Cage Titans, if they do that or the event after, I want my 10%. I think that's a genius idea.
James, honestly, I'm going to give that one a shout too to the big boss man over there because I love that idea.
Yeah,
especially
you could do the world map, but you could do like the New England area, and then just have like they do the world map. They could just have every fighter on there like the Street Fighter screen. I think that would be super
Hey,
cool.
you should get into marketing.
I know exactly. I'm not just a one-trick pony there. By the way, I know every time I have you on here, I ask you what suit you're wearing into that. Are you going for the Marty McFly here with this outfit? From Back to the Future.
Well, I got the mullet and everything. I just always felt like a retro kid. You know what I mean?
No, I'm the same way. I think it's cool,
Yeah.
and I meant it as a compliment actually because
It's actually ready. Hold. Let me put
yeah,
this down for
yeah. Let's see it.
Look at the back of this. This was a gift. These are all my past fight shirts.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah. It's like a it's almost like one of those music shirts or whatever,
Yeah,
which is really cool.
I love them.
Good thinking.
My sister got me that as a gift before my last fight against the party. It was one of my favorite gifts ever.
Good stuff. Andrew Valdina, always a pleasure,
Yes,
my
sir.
friend. Thanks so much for doing this. We'll see you back here soon. Hopefully recovery goes well, and enjoy the fights tonight.
Thank you. Everybody stay tuned for intermission. Might have a little announcement for you. Let's go.
There we go. There we go. Another teaser here on the Cage Titans Countdown Show. This is why you got to watch. We got all types of little nuggets coming through here. Don't forget your backpack over there, my friend. He's got a corner tonight. So this is the Cage Titans 74 preview show. I'm just going to go over the event one more time. We're going to wrap things up here. Just a bit of a shorter preview show as well. So we mentioned it there, the 5 title fights. We got the main event. We've got, the co-main event. We've got Casey Norton and Isaiah Torres. Torres, the champion, obviously taking the belt from Joe Poirier in his last fight. We've got the OG title, which we didn't even talk about tonight. Johnny Campbell taking on Kenny Champion. That's a fun fight. If you're Cage Titans hardcore, you'll know these two guys a lot. The grudge match, of course, Joe the Party, Jay Perrin. That's going to be awesome to check out too. We got Aaron Hughes and Tom Santos going at it. 2 veterans in the Cage Titans cage going to be fighting at 160. Emilio Marquez, we mentioned him, teammate of Isaiah Torres, going to be taking on Jaden Curley. Fun one there in the welterweight division. Very cool. Ash Rao going to be taking on Thurman Hargrove for the bantamweight strap at amateur. And then opening up the main card, Calvin Dalton, Josiah Fry, 2 undefeated flyweights fighting for gold on the main card as well. It's going to be a great event here. And, Pulver said it himself, but I'll say it here. I love coming to these events. I love talking to you guys. I love being a part of Cage Titans. There's quite nothing like it when it comes to MMA in the New England area. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so everyone right now, go over to Spectation Sports, find your favorite fighter, grab their code, get that discount, and go watch the fights tonight. I know we got UFC 322. Make sure you record that. Watch it after. You can stay up all night. You got nothing to do tomorrow. Just, record the event. Come watch Cage Titans. Then you have time to watch Islam and JDM. That's how it's all going to work out, okay? Listen, UFC's only got 2 title fights tonight. Cage Titans has 5. Remember that. So this card is way more important. Oh, we got one more here. We got the great Sean Lally. Yeah, no. Sean and I go way back. I believe last time I talked to Sean was at the after party. So it'll be good to have him on here. So we were going to wrap things up, but we got the great Sean Lally here doing commentary tonight. Good to talk to you. Man, the last time you and I did an interview together, Jesus, would have been about 10 years ago. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Good to be back. I love coming to these and doing the Cage Titans thing. So you're going to be on commentary tonight. Here's the full card here. 5 title fights. What's catching your eye tonight? What are you really looking forward to?
I mean, I would say there's 2 fights that really catch my eye tonight.
Yeah.
And first of all, the card is stacked
Absolutely.
from the bottom to the top.
I agree.
And I love seeing the up and coming amateurs because
Same.
you really never know what you're going to get in those fights. And those are really exciting. It's funny. The last couple of times I came out here, I was like, you know what? I'm glad I'm retired because these amateurs are
know. We were just saying that even before we hopped on here, like the amount of training and stuff. Like Emilio Marquez, who's fighting on this card, he cross trains in New Mexico and in Colorado, and he's an amateur.
Right.
That's like unheard of, or you never used to hear that fighters would go out of state to train, right?
Absolutely. And you got guys like Isaiah Torres. I think he had 15 amateur fights.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. And you don't see that happen a lot in MMA.
Yeah.
You see boxers that come out, and they have 100 amateur fights before they go professional. But a lot of times with MMA, you see guys get a few amateur fights and then they're right into the pro division. So he's got quite a bit of experience. That's a really exciting fight. I think the fight, that a lot of us want to see is the
grudge match.
Penafiel, against Jay Perrin. It's a big grudge match. There's been a lot of talk back and forth, but the best thing about fighting is you can talk as much as you want,
but you got to solve it in the cage.
You got to fight, right?
Yeah.
So tonight they're gonna solve it in the cage, and it's a very interesting matchup. They've both, had struggles at different times in their careers. I think that this is a good time for them to get in the cage versus each other. And I know they're both hungry for the victory and to lay the talk down.
Yeah, and this is something I didn't talk to anyone about, but I mean, you got to imagine the pressure is a little bit on Jay. Jay's fought in the UFC. He's been at the highest level. It's Joe's the one who's trying to get under his skin and say all this different stuff. Joe's 40, like he said it several times, reminding people that he's the one that's sort of at the tail end of his career. Jay's left the UFC. He's now back in Cage Titans. Like, how does Jay handle not only the trash talk, but the pressure of like, if he doesn't win, this is going to look really bad for him, you'd think, because this is a guy he should realistically beat.
I agree. I think Jay is the better skilled fighter overall. He's the younger guy, and there's a lot on the line for Jay. Like you said, I mean, Joe Penafiel, he fights in different organizations. He fights bare knuckle MMA. He mixes up. He just wants to get in there, and he's entered a little bit of his like journeyman part of his career. But Jay, he's still in his mid 30s. There's a bit of a climb to get back to the UFC, but there's still a chance there, right?
Exactly,
so if he goes on a nice run locally, 3-4 big wins against some names, he could find himself there. So it makes for a really interesting matchup. I would, if I were to make a pick, I'm going to go Jay Perrin by decision.
Same here. Yeah. And you just look at Jay's career, typically does go the distance. Joe Penafiel, pretty tough to finish. Look at the Ring Titans event. We thought that was over early, and the party ends up surviving that one. One fight I wanted to give some highlight to, because we haven't talked about it at all really with any of them. I kind of didn't forget, but there's just so many fights on this card. This OG title, Johnny Campbell and Kenny Champion. I'm really excited for this fight because, we know what happened with obviously Penafiel and Johnny Campbell hurting his shoulder. I kind of feel like this is a nice redemption for him to finish the year and actually get a real fight in there, because let's be honest, it was more of an injury than a finish there. And for Kenny Champion, it's his way to kind of bounce back from the loss of Jay Perrin as well. So I think it's a good chance for either guy to end 2025 on a high note.
I agree, and that's actually the second fight that I was going to mention.
There we go. I'm a mind reader too, so
yeah.
You need to buy a lottery ticket.
Amazing. I'll pay you after. I'll Venmo you.
Yeah. We don't have Venmo in Canada. It's crazy. No, we have to use PayPal.
Okay,
so
perfect.
just a little. I'm teaching all these Canadian facts as much as I can here, trying to educate people. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bring it up here. Yeah, let's see this.
What do we got?
Oh, nicotine packs. Okay, Nutra. There we go. Oh, it's caffeine.
Caffeine.
Oh, I thought it was nicotine. Okay, good stuff.
Nutra. Get your Nutra tonight. No nicotine, only caffeine and energy plus vitamins.
There you go. Yeah, it's good. And listen, we're going to need it because there's like 15 fights on this card, so it's going to be it's going to be a late night potentially. We got to hope for some finishes. But let's get back to the OG.
Going back to the OG title, I feel like there's been some good OG titles. I feel like this is the best OG title fight so far.
Yeah.
Right. You got someone like Johnny Campbell, who is just, everyone at Cage Titans knows who Johnny Campbell is, right? Mm-hmm. He's been in this game for so long. I mean, he has over 40 fights. And his last fight didn't go the way he wanted.
No.
Right. And then on the other side of him, you got Kenny Champion, a super explosive guy, has shown that he can put guys out. And I think this is where that matchup gets interesting, because sometimes Johnny has this style of like reckless abandonment, right? Mm-hmm. Where I want to see Johnny be calculated with that tonight and not get caught with a shot by Kenny Champion coming in. But either way, it's a great matchup, and may the best OG win.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else catch your eye on this card? I'm happy to see back, because we had him a couple fights ago. Javier Acosta, he had that fight last time that he was winning, and it was just an absolute brawl. He ends up losing that fight, so he gets a bit of redemption. He's going to be fighting on this card against Tyler DeFlippis, who also fought on the last event too. So two guys looking to get that first amateur win. They're going to be hungry.
Absolutely. That's a good fight. I'm looking forward to seeing Josiah Fry.
Yeah, of course.
I want to see if anyone's able to stop his just relentless
pace and everything.
And his wrestling abilities. That's a very exciting fight to watch too, because that kid is the real deal.
We're going to wrap things up, and I'll wrap it up here with Sean. He's going to be on the commentary booth tonight. You can watch it on Spectation Sports. Again, I tell you guys this all the time. Go find your favorite fighter. He will have a code on there, and the fighters get a kickback. This is the nice thing about Spectation Sports, is that if the fighter gets a certain amount of signups, they do end up getting some money back there. So not only do you get a discount, the fighter gets a kickback too. That is the only place you can watch it. As Polvera always says, don't fall for the funny links. You got to just go to spectationsports.com. That's the only way you can watch Cage Titans 74 here tonight. I told you before, record the UFC. You don't need to watch Islam and JDM tonight. You can wait. Valentina Whaley, that can wait too, okay? Go record the event. Watch Cage Titans first, then go watch it tomorrow morning. Stay up tonight. You got nothing to do tomorrow. That's the way to do it here. For myself, for Sean Lally, go check out Cage Titans tonight, Cage Titans 74. We're going to sign off here. And thanks so much for watching, and enjoy Cage Titans 74.